When I was 15, my parents got divorced. It was a pretty brutal divorce. And as I looked around my high school, looked at the other kids whose parents were getting divorced, I saw that at lunchtime they all ended up in this park getting high. And I thought, that could well be me unless I do something. So I decided I would take karate. And the school I chose was the Temple for Physical and Spiritual Survival, located on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It was run by a gentleman, Gerald Orange, who was a pretty fascinating guy. And the history of the school was that it was part of the Black Panther movement in the 60s. So I was pretty impressed. The style they taught was called Go-Ju. Now, at 15, 16, I was something of a wit, maybe a little juvenile wit. And as my father was Jewish, I thought this was really an enthusiastic cry, "Go, Jew!" But it wasn't spelt that way. It was G-O-J-U. And in Japanese, that meant go, which is the hard force, and ju, which is the soft force. The title of the karate, the style, actually comes from a poem. And the line of the poem is, "Everything in the world is breathing hard and soft." Everything is breathing hard and soft. So there are hard forces and there are soft forces. So in my life, I've tried to think about this paradigm, that there are hard forces and soft forces, but that they move together. Now, at the Temple for Physical and Spiritual Survival, we were taught to meet hard with soft and soft with hard. But I think the situation is a little more complicated than that. Because if everything really is breathing both ways, it means that there's an ebb and flow. And at times, you might aspire to be hard while you're being soft. So I ask that you think about this while you think about the question and answer period of your presentation. If a question is initially hostile, you might want to meet it by being very soft and understanding and asking the person gently to articulate their line of reasoning. If a question is very complimentary, you might seize it and move forward and further your point. But ultimately, you might think that softness can win the day very strongly. That if you try and meet everything with too much energy, if you don't figure out when you're going to be truly soft, and by that I mean silent, and just let people talk. If you always approach things that you need to put your ego first and be hardened and aggressive at all times, then you may overwhelm things. So just think about go and Jew as you think about how you want to organize your community.